Hello and welcome back to the HBC podcast. I haven't done this in a while, I've been very busy, but I promise I'll try to do it a lot more. So today I'll be talking about Wundowie Club Run in June and Wanneroo Club Run in June. And I've just come back from the city of Melbourne, which you'll find out when I do a video on that in 2 weeks, a podcast video on that in 2 weeks. That went pretty well, and you'll be able to check how I did on Speed Hive if you can't wait 2 weeks, but there's no problem with that, it's alright. And then I've got this Jimmy Johnson jacket on. I've had for 4 years now, but it finally fits, so that's cool. As long as my dog's here beside me today. So let's get started. So Wundowie, pretty well. I didn't bin it in the first practice session like I did at the May one. So Heat 1, pretty well, finished second, and I've been feeling very sick that day. So it was beyond my expectations that I'd be doing that good. Heat 2, second place again. Track felt okay, it wasn't too cold, it wasn't too hot. So we were doing about low 37s, which is about a good Cadet 12 lap time. And cool thing, I've got the second fastest ever lap time there for a Cadet 12, a 36.7, which I bet will be trampled on by other drivers at King of the Hill, but hopefully I can be one of those people to beat a 36.7. As well, new tyres and everything like that, so stay tuned for King of the Hill. Speed Hive again, yeah, but I'm getting sidetracked too much anyway. Where was I? Yes. Heat 3. Mixed up grid. I was able to start at the front, get ahead early, and won, which is pretty cool. I always like to appreciate a win, so if you see me, all like that about a small heat race, small insignificant heat race, it's because I never know when I'm gonna win again, so I try to make the most of it while it's lasting. So there's a little tip. And then in the final, had a bad start, 2nd to 4th on the first lap, but then there was a red flag as we came by the second time, which I don't think was really needed. There was one kid who was hurt, but he seemed okay, and I'm happy that he's okay. There was 5 people off in the dirt, but really I don't think it was it should have been a red flag. And it's a shame because I could have done a video on that, but then my GoPro randomly turned off during the red flag sequence. That though meant a race restart, so, but more unluckiness, got another bad start, but I was able to come back, and over the course of 15 laps, one position, another position, first place, into the lead, and then after a sequence of bad corners from my end, Riley Curry was able to take the lead back, and then the last lap I got past into turn 1 and won the race, resulting in my first ever first place trophy. Big kudos to Charlie Oakley, Riley Curry, Jack Oakley, big names that raced that weekend, and I'm very happy that I went to race that weekend, and I felt better the next day, not sick anymore. Now, Wanneroo. So, there were a couple big names then, Valentino Giorgello, Charlie Oakley, Chase Saxel, Diago Stewart, a lot of big people coming to this race meet. Heat 1, it was raining, which is kind of my specialty in a couple cases, but I don't want to say super good because I never like to boast about anything. Finished 5th, I think, so I'll take that. Second heat, 4th, in the dry, holding 3rd for a bit, but Chase Saxfield, obviously fast kart coming up for the field. Heat 3, we had a bit of a bad one, dropping to 5th or 6th again, almost got past at the last corner, which doesn't normally happen at Wanneroo. But then in the final, there was a big battle between the top 3, just stood in there, P4 the whole race, and then at the end I was able to get into P2 right at the end and sneak in a podium finish, which was my last WA race to date, which was all the way back in June. Fortunately, I didn't get a trophy, it wasn't finishing top 3, but I don't mind that. It was still an incredible weekend, and I thank everyone who supported me that one. So that's another podcast. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.